really heartfelt, but oh my God, can you guys be any more nauseating? Honestly, the only person here that deserves any recognition is me. But what I really did was I put the end to this pathetic, sad Sasha Bailey sideshow that you guys have been doing. It's honestly, it's kind of weird. But more importantly,
this is a I love porn grooves. I sorely do. Anyways, everybody, how's it going? I am Joey Nohana, and from now on, until I feel like changing it, or don't want to be referred to, you can refer to me as Muffin Ass for the remainder of any preceding episodes.
I see.
So, I am Muffin Ass. Joined across from me is Tyson Touloud.
Hey, everybody.
And Anthony Caruso, who is dying over here to the right of me. It's the Superstar Shakeup, or Shakedown, however you feel like putting it. That was the big news this week, and that was the entire week in wrestling, especially WWE. It was everything that was going on. It was essentially just a bunch of people showing up on another show. Literally, there was no pageantry. There was no cool lead-ups. There was no intros. It was just...
Before we get into it, we got to plug where they can find the show at.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You do it. That's your job now.
No, it's not.
FalconArrow.podbean.com is our PodBean. You can follow us on there for the MP3s. YouTube channel. Subscribe to us there. And Facebook.com/FalconArrowCast. And if you guys didn't know, our New Japan episode did pretty good.
Yeah, we're me and Joey are rock stars now.
We're awesome now, I guess. And
you guys got a tour bus outside and
we
shit,
did.
assistants.
I'm a little sad that was the one that took off because it had the worst audio ever.
I know.
And we're not recording on our very nice mics like we are right now. We recorded on them, just didn't pick up, and it didn't record. But now I'm almost 100% positive that our mics are being picked up.
1,500 views. PewDiePie, here we come.
But if you're listening to this and did not actually listen to that, if you do want to get into Japanese wrestling, I would strongly encourage you get into it and then listen to our shit because it's good stuff. It's a lot of good stuff. And Shibata did get fucking hurt on that headbutt.
He did.
Son of a bitch. So that's how awesome Japanese wrestling is, everybody. People headbutt each other for real. I don't know if it's a work or not. I don't know if it's going to be
it's a work.
This guy. But don't want to get too into it, but this guy headbutted another man straight up.
Yes.
Like, no work. This was a straight fucking headbutt.
You heard the thud.
Yeah, it was sickening. I don't think Tyson saw it, but he will.
I will in time.
You need to.
I've heard a lot about this match.
It was better than Omega and Okada, so.
This is what I've heard. It was. And I'd like to check that out.
It was. Well, and everybody, like I said before, the Superstar Shakeup. It was the big deal this week. And like I said before, nothing more than just a couple of people showing up on other shows.
No drama, no build. It was like a draft without the lottery.
The only person that got a build, to be fair, the only person that got any sort of intro was Charlotte. There was a lead up to that. Shane had a little lead up, and that was it. She showed up on the show.
That's not even true. She was an also ran. Tamina got the big.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Tamina,
because they went with the purposeful misdirection with that.
What a swerve! They're liking this whole swerving people thing, aren't they? They're really into this now. It's the new thing with WWE. You know, aside from booking like shit.
They're like, we'll show you smarks.
Anyways, everybody, the news this week for WWE and un-WWE related things. Matt Hardy appears to be winning this legal battle with TNA. TNA has, I believe WWE now has a a thing against them legally.
Yeah.
Where
I knew that this whole legal thing couldn't have been over.
yeah.
Yeah.
What happened here? He re-added the broken moniker to the Twitter account.
Yeah.
And he's recently started using his broken verbiage. So
Well, he'd been using it on Twitter the whole time. He'd been kind of.
he stopped for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then he started up again.
And I read a couple of tweets that made me think that he was going to be broken Matt Hardy when this thing was all said and done.
WWE is helping Rebby Hardy with assistance in legal issues against TNA, and WWE sees a loophole in the TNA dispute because TNA once used the term charismatic enigma on their television.
Really?
So, there's your loophole, everybody. And if they don't back the fuck off, WWE and their really cool fucking lawyers are going to rain upon Impact Wrestling.
I would normally be against the big corporation fucking.
Fuck TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
TNA,
fuck
dude.
that owl, dude.
Fuck TNA, man. If you do not have Broken Hardy or Broken Matt or Brother Nero,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of the company.
Yeah.
They're cool. That's fine. Yeah, the Hardy Boys they're totally cool.
But they're just. If
I don't care
if it was
anymore.
just Team Extreme, it would be a nostalgic act that would get old in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's the Dudleys all over again.
I loved
Nobody cares.
I loved Mattitude. Don't get me wrong. I loved Mattitude. Matt has always been my favorite Hardy, but I could give
Yeah,
no.
V1 with Shannon Moore.
I could get. He's better than Jeff. Really,
the
come
fuck
on,
outta
give me a
here.
fucking break. Jeff
Matt's
sucks.
better than Jeff.
Matt's way better than Jeff. He's
Jeff's
always
the
been
fucking
better.
man.
Jeff as a solo wrestler is terrible.
Jeff is fantastic.
No, he's not.
Back in the day.
Yeah. He beat Triple H once in 01 for the IC title, and that was the coolest he ever was to me.
He almost beat The Undertaker that one time, all right? And that was sweet.
In a white tank top, no less. It appears Mauro Ranallo is done with WWE because JBL's a big fucking bully.
Yeah.
He got replaced by Saxon, right?
Well,
yeah.
no, Saxon and Otunga switched.
They were
okay.
remember that 4-man booth that they had? It was extremely overcrowded on
Yeah,
SmackDown.
that was really...
Well, I was listening to Solid Monster, and they were talking about possibly that they thought that maybe something would be going on as to Ronaldo's depression and stuff. So maybe they thought they would kind of groom Phillips, and that's why they were doing the whole 4-man booth thing.
So they knew it was going to happen.
Just in case.
Possibly, yeah.
And the whole thing with JBL, the whole bullying thing, it was patently obvious that he knew what was going on. He understands what was going on. He's probably got talked to, because if you watch SmackDown this week, this guy was extremely tame. He was super nice about everything, and he didn't rip Saxon a new asshole not one time.
Yeah, well.
And Saxon's a fucking nerd and a half.
Yeah.
And
So what exactly was going on? Was he like really going after him like that?
Well, apparently JBL's like known for being
JBL's apparently a big fucking bully.
Yeah.
You can look at it two ways, though. And the company, I think, favors... They're not going to do too much to act against it.
Well, that's
because-
kind of like their whole thing. Like, it's accepted there.
Well, it's
Like,
accepted
did you read the
because-
shit that he did to Justin Roberts?
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff, but I think it's just the simple fact that it's a case that could be made in any other place, where there's a guy, he likes to rib people. He ribs people too fucking much.
Yeah.
So people get really offended by the ribbing.
I mean, I understand like helping guys get a thicker skin. I mean, you're on TV, so you have like a fan base. So you need to have a thick skin to be on the show, and it's just kind of guys being guys. But like stuff like what he did to Justin Roberts, where he had like someone steal his fucking passport and he couldn't get out of a country or whatever it was.
That's wild.
That's too far.
So I mean, was this like on-air bullying, or was this like backstage shit?
Well, it was a mixture of both, because you could hear the fucker.
There was a couple.
He was getting really chippy with him.
There were a couple times when I was like, "All right, JBL, like chill out."
Yeah.
You know, like he did kind of.
And when they said he missed because of the snowstorm, that might have just been a cover, because I guess JBL said that everybody made it, and then he deleted the tweet afterwards, thinking maybe someone talked to him and let him know that this was more than just that, and it was just a cover.
Yeah. Well, in any event, Ronaldo's not coming back in the foreseeable future.
That sucks.
I don't understand, like, unless this is something that Mara wants, like, why don't, since they're doing the whole shakeup thing, why don't they swap him and Cole out? Put Cole on SmackDown. And
Well, with this shakeup,
yeah.
this shakeup's ridiculous, because he went to Showtime.
Oh, that's right.
And that's my...
He's doing a boxing thing, right?
Yeah, what a shakeup, right? Shook that motherfucker up and sent him to a different channel.
Totally different industry.
Good Lord.
Right? Yeah.
Ronaldo's contract ends in August of this year. However, it seems like he's not going to be honoring this any longer. So, you will not be hearing from Ronaldo anytime soon on WWE television.
Which is unfortunate.
It really
Which
is.
makes the product less or more unbearable.
It is, however, I think now Mr. Bradshaw Layfield will now be tame as shit, because he has to be tame, because they can't have this happen anymore.
Did you see the guy got escorted out of SmackDown because he was like right by the commentary booth, and he had a what you call it,
Fire Bradshaw.
fire JBL.
There was a chance.
Or JBL bullied me. So, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, there was a large chant going on that said fire Bradshaw right before SmackDown started. So he will feel this wrath for quite some time because when you get Mauro Ranallo fired,
a lot of people liked Ranallo. So yeah.
Well, Ranallo was awesome.
He was fantastic.
He was. I feel two ways about it. If the guy's ribbing you, just ignore him or tell him to go fuck himself and just go on with your day. You don't get too offended by it, but
it's. I mean, none of us can speak to it. We'd all none of us have bipolar or depression.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I understand what he's going through, but it seems to me that Mauro was loved so much that he could have easily just said, "Look, this guy's fucking with me. Get him off my television or get him away from me." Yeah. But he chose to fucking pull a CM Punk and never be heard from again.
You can't really, tell them to go to JBL. JBL's so entrenched in that company.
JBL's up that. Oh, he's up Vince's ass.
He's been a fixture for a while.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. At the Raw Dark match after it went off the air this past Monday, Seth Rollins debuted a new finisher. It is essentially a ripcord knee strike.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, what?
He does the whole Rainmaker setup.
The Rainmaker setup, ripcord. So you got the guy from the front.
That's what they call that?
Nice. Yeah, it's called ripcord. And he just straight up knees you in the fucking face. And that's how he ended that dark match. So apparently that's his new finisher. Because if it ended the match.
Okay, so he ripcords and then he just brings you in. And is it like a bicycle knee or?
Just a straight up Roddy knee to the face.
Jumping knee to the face.
Oh.
What are you going to do? Use the fucking pedigree?
I don't know. Go back to the Blackout, or God's Last Gift, or Paroxysm, or any of his other fucking finishers. Like, that's really uninspired. I mean, he already does it.
I don't remember what.
I don't know
God's
what
Last
his.
Gift.
I don't know what his.
You're gonna have to fill us in.
It was like that like package bomb thing he does.
Package bomb?
Yeah, it's like he lands you in a small package and pins you. No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's essentially what Trevor Lee does now.
The small package?
The small package driver that suplex that he does?
It's like a small package driver,
about. Yeah.
But he already does like a diving knee off the top, so...
Look, man. When he broke in, it was just a curb stomp. It was very easy. I guess he's looking for another easy finisher.
He could even hit him off with like the Skywalker, and just do like a standing sliced bread or something. Like
a standing sliced bread?
Yeah.
Isn't that like isn't that Destino?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, well,
that's pretty much Destino.
Well, I mean, in his Tyler Black days, it was the Skywalker, and it was pretty fucking sweet.
Listen, brother, this is not Tyler Black.
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
who's Tyler Black?
This is Sethafur Rollins, you motherfucker.
I'm just saying,
back to the Indies.
He had a bevy of sweet moves that he could like reach into.
Everybody had a bevy of sweet moves when they were on the Indies.
Yeah,
and then they get the WWE wrestling style.
But WWE likes to simplify everybody.
They kept some of his stuff, and like his turnbuckle power bomb. They kept that. They kept the buckle bomb.
Yeah.
And there's a couple.
Kev uses the buckle bomb.
Everybody gets to keep a couple of things. But.
And there's a couple moves that like aren't really that like dangerous or anything, like the Skywalker and like some of his other shit that he could do, and it'd be cooler than a fucking ripcord knee.
Looking for something new, man. I mean, look at Ruby Riot's fucking finisher. It's a fucking Pele kick.
Who the fuck cares, dude, about Ruby fucking Riot? In either case, I am glad.
Two new moves this week I've seen, so that's why all I'm pulling out.
In either case, like, I'm glad that he's not doing the pedigree anymore.
I am super glad he's not doing the pedigree anymore, because I'd rather see him do anything. I'd rather see him do a stalling suplex than fucking the pedigree anymore.
Seriously.
So in comedy news, and if you haven't heard about this, you need to at the moment. A woman from Norfolk, Virginia, created a petition to get Braun Strowman fired after the Roman segment on Raw this past week. Quote, this is her quote on the petition page. To the WWE, we the WWE Universe are not pleased we're not pleased with Strowman's actions tonight on Raw following his brutal attack on Roman Reigns. Me and a lot of the WWE Universe want Strowman fired effective immediately. He crossed the line tonight following the attack on Roman, and now Roman is in the hospital with injuries. If this is what you call entertainment, you failed miserably. And she goes on to talk about how he's the worst, and he needs to be fired. Strowman responded with, I do what I want when I want, and your stupid petition won't change that. Hashtag no one's safe. Hashtag everyone will fall. Hashtag your tears hydrate me.
What? That last part was real. Your
Straight
tears
up.
hydrate me?
A complete fucking shoot. I'm not making any of this up.
How are you over the age of 16 and at this point don't understand that wrestling is
Well, she
not
updated it.
real?
She updated it and said that it had to get taken down. Because
love-
obviously someone contacted her and said, listen, bitch, okay?
I love the
Don't do
image. That's just the mental image of Braun sitting somewhere with a mug of grandma tears, just like just drinking on a hot day.
I read
after mowing his lawn.
I read some of the comments on this.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so entertaining. Like, all these people.
How are you an adult and not understand? Like, and you're a fan.
Well, here's the thing.
It's still real to them, man.
It's akin to you wanting to call the cops because Triple H fucking illegally
But
married.
I was 10 when that happened.
Yeah, that's true.
I was an adult. I was in 5th grade.
Kayfabe's still alive and well, man.
It's a thing, man. The business still kind of thrives on the idea that people are that fucking dumb. And
apparently so.
Suspension of disbelief, man. Even with the edits and everything else. But we'll get into that.
Well, yeah. Save that for when we really want to vomit. Monday Night Raw, April 10th, 2017, from the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York.
Hey.
This show did a 3.218.
That's pretty good.
So
for them
that's
rating,
still pretty good. SmackDown wasn't that far. I think SmackDown did its first above 3 this week.
That's good for SmackDown to hang. Yeah.
Yeah. So SmackDown maintained 90% of the audience from Raw. So this whole shakeup turned out to be pretty successful.
Right on.
Anyways, the shakeup itself, everyone that went to Raw: Miz and Maurice, Dean Ambrose, Apollo Crews, Kalisto, Alexa Bliss, Bray Wyatt, Heath Slater and Rhino, David Otunga, and Kurt Hawkins. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people went to Raw, and I'm assuming it's the same for SmackDown. I don't know. Maybe they put more, maybe they put less. But in any event, Tyson thought that Raw was getting all of the SmackDown talent, and he was extremely afraid that this was
Well, a
gonna
lot
happen.
of people thought that.
Yeah, I did. I heard that Roman was going over, and
I think that was the original plan. I think Roman and AJ
were supposed to
they were supposed to swap, but they realized that AJ's too good.
So about an hour and a half in, I'm thinking to myself, all right, so they already got Dean, like Miz, Bray. If AJ comes over, because it was still a possibility at this point, if AJ comes over, what the fuck does SmackDown have left?
Nothing.
That's what I was thinking. Like their card. Like,
It didn't dawn on you that there was going to play out.
Of course, that
the
there's
next
going to
night.
be more. Yeah. But I'm thinking to myself, like, even if Roman goes over, it's going to be like Roman, Randy, Nakamura, and Dolph Ziggler, and that's it.
Well, you should have realized when Dean came over that Owens was going over.
Yeah.
They didn't say it until maybe the end of Raw that they were like, oh, by the way, guys, SmackDown's going to have their own show. Relax.
But
And I'm also thinking to myself, now they have like both tertiary titles on there, because I didn't think the whole Kevin thing all the way through.
But I mean, once you realized that everyone was coming over on Raw and you didn't have anyone going to SmackDown, that you knew that SmackDown.
I thought it was all going to happen on Monday, and they were just going to tell us it was going to be on SmackDown.
I thought so too. I didn't know it was going to be a 2-part thing.
Because SmackDown is a separate thing. Anything that any changes, they're going to play it out on both shows, so you watch both shows.
Well, back in the day when the draft happened, it happened on Raw.
Yeah.
Well,
So SmackDown was booked on Raw.
It's different now. They're trying to make both shows.
I'm aware of that, Kevin Kelly. Relax. Jesus Christ.
Kelly, what?
Kevin Kelly.
I heard you guys.
Good
It's a joke.
Lord.
Oh.
She's supposed to be coming back.
I was
What
going to say,
happened,
she's
dude?
still got to come over. I thought
Yeah,
she was
going to be on WrestleMania.
No, Lana's the new Kelly, so get ready for
I
that.
think the whole deal was they wanted to bring a whole bunch of old school divas.
You're calling Kelly old? She's a fucking old bitch, right?
No, she's like 30.
That was cheap heat. Anyways,
That's old in WWE women years.
I guess.
so WWE literally doesn't waste any time on this Raw. John Cena and Nikki Bella come out. They talk about how their Hollywood careers failed. Then Dean Ambrose comes out, tries to talk to John and Nikki about how the Miz and Maurice are awful. And the Miz was hiding under John Cena's hat the whole time.
Yes.
Maurice was hiding under Nikki Bella the whole time.
This was the best Dean Ambrose fucking thing in forever. I actually thought this was funny.
So the first 10 minutes of the show, we're already getting bamboozled, and John Cena and Nikki were nowhere to be found after this. This is like El Vagabundo all over again, man. People are coming and going, and I have no idea where anyone is at. So yeah, guys, Miz and Maurice, literally the first thing you see on Raw. So they are not fucking around, which is hilarious because they could have spent a lot more time actually introducing these people instead of giving us such great segments like T.J. Perkins versus Austin Aries.
I feel like they literally just everybody who was on SmackDown whose storyline has pretty much run its course. They're just like, all right, go to Raw.
Yeah.
You know? Because Dean hasn't done shit, and The Miz doesn't have Cena to promo against anymore.
I'm glad Dean's on Raw. I could
yeah,
give no
Dean's
fucks about him
fucking
right now.
hot trash right now. And Bray and Randy has pretty much ran its course. I mean, they have their whole like haunted house, fucking like horizontal hello match, whatever's going on.
Haunted house.
But yeah, his shit's pretty much over too. Which, you know, while we're on the topic, I hope to God that this doesn't result in like Braun going back to Bray, because Bray needs guys. Okay, Bray's the kind of character where he needs guys, and he doesn't have Luke, he doesn't have Eric. All that's over here is Braun. You can't have Bray just dolo, you know. Like,
I think Braun's a little too
Braun
over.
has like way outgrown fucking Bray, like way beyond outgrown him. So I really hope he doesn't like revert back.
I would venture to say that Braun Strowman's a lot more interesting than Bray Wyatt at the moment.
Oh God!
Oh yeah,
by leaps and bounds. But like with this whole Roman thing, okay, so obviously this is going to lead to a match, and then they're going to have like let's say Braun goes over, then they have a rubber match at whatever, and then let's say Braun doesn't go over because it's Roman. That just leaves Braun with momentum killed, nothing else, and then there's Bray. I hope that's not the fucking case, because that would be terrible.
This is per the Wrestling Observer. This is what the match with the House of Horrors is entailing at the moment. They apparently haven't decided on what a House of Horrors match is yet. In fact,
really?
They've actually done a survey at the WWE Fan Council this past week asking them what they'd like it to be, bringing up various weapons and such. The question asks people to check what elements they'd like in the match, listing cage, darkness, fire, pitchforks, mirrors, projected images,
Fog
aka
machine.
maggots,
Oh, come on.
fog.
Wait, I was kidding. There's
No,
really a fog
fog.
machine?
Yeah, no, hold on, let me
Yes.
finish. Fog, a match done outside the arena, aka the what the fuck did the Hardys do this past?
They're going to throw
summer?
down at the Hardy compound?
yeah.
Yeah, the oh fuck, who cares? The tag team thing.
Apocalypto.
Yes,
Yeah.
Apocalypto.
Didn't they already do one of those against the New Day at the Wyatt compound?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
A match done outside the arena, creepy, scary venue, music, quote unquote
Creepy, scary venue.
sheepy, whatever that means, and nothing different. I don't know why that was there. Well, it can't be a straight match after they've already named it House of Horrors.
By sheepy, do you mean like a lumberjack match with all the fucking guys in masks and
I
shit?
suppose.
Didn't they already do that with him and Cena?
These are not my words, but
Why
this is
does
what's going
everything
on.
that WWE does, like, they advertise these things and they have no plan for it? Like, the Superstar Shakeup was something that they decided after WrestleMania.
Day after Mania,
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of
Before
did that.
Raw, there was no planning for this. They threw it together.
And it's a mid-season draft. There's still a draft.
Yeah, I kind of
they're
figured.
still doing a
November,
draft?
yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So
They
there's
bumped it back. Okay.
Yeah, so there's the shakeup, which is essentially the summer draft. Then there's going to be a few months before Mania draft in November. So I'm guessing after Survivor Series, maybe.
So
I don't know.
So
I don't
so this shakeup thing was supposed to replace the draft that was supposed to happen in June.
Guess not.
And they're just going to push
shaking
that
it up.
back. And okay.
So, yeah, okay. So this is just obviously trying to fucking realizing they're failing at what they're doing.
For now, we'll see what happens. They might just shake it up again in another 2 weeks. Who fucking knows?
But getting back to them creating gimmicks and then like not having them fleshed out before they actually like set it in stone. Didn't they do the same thing for the SmackDown Women's Title at Mania and shit? Like
They did it for a lot of things. Which one? This fucking company they're day to day, man. They're very much day to day.
they're just like spitballing like live on TV and then figuring it out after the fact.
Vince wakes up and has no agenda. He's just, what am I going to fuck up today? Sammy is talking to Angle backstage. He mentions at one point he was SmackDown bound, but then that changed. However, it seems Sammy doesn't realize he's still a complete fucking nerd and literally nothing has changed for him on Raw. So I don't know why he would stay on Raw. Funny, because the next night he's on SmackDown. So
Yep.
this whole promo meant jack
where he
shit.
should have been the whole time.
The New Day took on the Revival. The Revival won with the ugliest looking shatter machine you'll ever see in your life. Still kind of okay.
To be fair though,
guess. I don't know.
they did pull off the whole out of nowhere aspect of it. They did that. I mean, I feel like Dawson wasn't like ready, but
It looked like fucking Dawson literally just threw Xavier
And
into
Xavier
Wilder's fucking
Xavier
knees.
also like dove in on a really weird angle. Like he came
Yeah.
in super shallow. He should have arced it more. It would have looked.
I think Dawson was supposed to catch him midair and then guide him, but it just
Yeah.
looked like he just went, "Here you go,
He
brother,"
came
right into his
he
fucking
came in on
knees.
such a shallow angle, like he didn't have any time to like get set or anything. They did what they could.
Best part about all of this was the Rest in Peace ice cream cart shirt that I think Dawson had, and Wilder had a "We broke Kofi's ankle" shirt.
Yeah, that was fucking sweet.
When they're gonna sell that, I have no idea, but I would like to buy some of that because I too enjoy the fact that Kofi's ankle has been broken.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If Xavier Woods comes out with a "Come Get This Work" fucking shirt, I'd buy that shit. That was awesome.
God, don't ruin the Revival, guys, please. For the love of God, please don't ruin the Revival.
They're on Raw. They're already ruined.
No. Well, the commercials ruin Raw. Before we continue, I do have to say this was my first Raw watching it live on the USA Network with my PlayStation View, and I wanted to fucking shoot myself about an hour into this whole show. So
It's like 50 minutes worth of programming more than you're used to.
you guys doing this every week, I feel bad for you guys. Big time, because this shit was awful. TJ Perkins and Austin Aries had a match. The only thing I wanted to note about was that Neville needs to put a fucking shirt on. Please.
What?
Yeah. When wrestlers are like just in their trunks and not doing anything, like it doesn't make any sense.
When's the last time you saw Neville like with jeans with like with a tap out shirt? This guy literally, this guy makes me believe he walks around with the greasiest fucking body on and like the wettest hair and literally his gear.
You're saying he like wakes up with rings around his fucking
Apparently,
biceps? Like,
dude sits at the commentary booth like with no shirt in complete gear, and he's not wrestling.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, TJ Perkins and I guess Neville are going to be a thing now. I don't know why. TJ Perkins tried to turn heel. No one gave a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck at all. And I'd like to say a little something about TJ. Okay, so he does his little dab thing and all that. Everybody fucking boos because nobody gives a shit.
Because he sucks.
You're like the white meat fucking like baby face. You're doing your dab for the kids, and everybody's booing because Austin's the fucking man. And Aries looks at him, he smirks, and he's like, shit, they're really fucking going in on this guy. So he tries to start a clap to maybe get something going for him, and he still can't get over. It's terrible. And even after the heel turn, there's still a "you still suck" chant.
Yeah, it does.
He literally flipped his gimmick in front of everybody, and they acknowledged it. They're like, you still blow, TJ. Like, this guy can't buy a fucking cheer. It's terrible.
How are you supposed to erase, 6 months of complete fucking bullshit? Like, attacking us? Dude, the only way this guy could have gotten over as a heel is if he straight up stabbed Austin Aries, then peed on him. Like, there's nothing else you could do for this guy. So I don't know why they decided to turn him heel.
That's not the way to get over. Ask Brian Kendrick.
No.
That's just not the way.
And even though his face, you can look at his fucking face and he's still like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm fucking dumb. Like, what are we supposed to think? As the viewer, I'm sitting there going, this guy has no idea what he's doing.
No.
And he's totally unsure why he beat up Austin Aries. Give me a fucking break. Oh, boy. So, Seth Rollins comes out and likes to inform the crowd that him and them, we all did it together, guys. We beat up Triple H together as a team.
It's nauseating.
I hate Seth Rollins so much.
A clip of Stephanie McMahon going through a table at Mania is shown. So they continue to milk the one bump a year Stephanie takes.
Hey, you got to thank you, Seth chant.
Let's point out the fact that Stephanie shits on the entire roster for 2 years, takes 2 bumps, and now she's gotten what she's deserved.
I'm pretty sure when Seth came back, he told everybody he didn't need them and that he didn't give a fuck.
Welcome to wrestling.
Okay, but it's all of us. We all
helped him. Yeah, we
pretty sure he told the whole universe to go fuck themselves.
As a matter of fact. No, go on.
I was about to say, I don't think I helped him at all. I'm pretty sure I was laying in my bed with like my shirt like halfway up my stomach. Probably with my hands in my pants watching that match.
I helped him because I bought all of his shirts. So.
I helped him because I cleared him for that match the next night. He got a bootleg fucking signature from yours truly.
I wrote up the contract to legally indemnify the game for him to have that match at Mania.
God damn. Angle comes out to inform Seth he will stay on Raw. Yawn. and literally talks in sound bites because that's all Angle's been doing lately. Angle's fine. I love Angle, but this whole "it's damn true," dude, just talk like a normal fucking dude. Don't talk to me like I'm still in 2001.
You gotta get your shit in, man.
Every fucking time you talk.
Yes.
Hey, he's already got a new shirt on the shop, so.
It's damn true. Fuck off, dude. I bought your book. Stop talking to me like that, okay?
Wow, bro. You don't have the 3 eyes, bro.
No, but I do. I did buy his book back in the day, and it was a phenomenal book. Anyways, Joe ambushes Seth. Angle does an awful job of breaking up these two men. I don't know if you guys witnessed this. It was
I saw
the
it.
worst officiating I've ever seen in my life. He's like, guys, please just don't.
He's like, hey, stop.
Please don't. For the love of God, don't fight here on Raw. The only cool thing about this whole segment was seeing Angle and fucking and Joe in the same ring, because they brought me back to 2006 when he showed up in TNA, and his first match was against Samoa Joe. Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal. Obviously, Finn Balor won this match. However, Jinder Mahal delivered. He waffled the fuck out of Finn in this match, and it was that big fucking shot that they showed over again on the replay. He killed him on that spot right there. And you could kind of tell because when Finn got up after he won the match, he had canvas burns. He had matte burns on his face. Dude fucking flopped straight up. On the ground, no joke. So because of Jinder Mahal, because he's such a phenomenal worker, Finn Balor is probably going to be off TV for a little longer.
Hey, but luckily for us, Finn is James Dean Cool and John Wayne Tough.
Give me a fucking break.
That's what they said. That's what they fucking said. I was like, God damn it.
So yeah,
so tough he gets beer thrown at him, right? Fuck you. All right. I have to address this, okay? So everyone's saying that Finn's injury prone because of what happened with Seth and what happened now. However, here's the issue, okay? This guy worked in Japan for how long? They work stiff as fuck, but they're professional enough to not harm the other guy. Yeah. How many times have you seen a New Japan show, guys working hard as a motherfucker, stiff as hell, but still wake up the next day with maybe some sore, but guess what? They're alive and they're fine and they don't got to go to the hospital. Yeah. Finn shows up
unless you're Tomoaki Honma, so.
Yeah, but that was just a freak accident. Yeah. Then you got Finn Balor. He comes to the United States and he's been hurt twice so far on the main roster.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you for working stiff versus working with shitty fucking wrestlers? So Jinder Mahal, good fucking job.
I mean, it also helps that in pretty much anywhere else you wrestle, you don't wrestle as much, but
that's true.
Yeah. But I mean, stuff happens. I mean, ask Yoshitatsu, you know.
But that was a stiff move that he's probably taken 8 million times in Japan. You know what I'm saying? This guy legitimately fucking waffled him. I don't know why, because it's not gonna help his career anymore. But that's that.
Helped him go right on to SmackDown.
Help him get traded to SmackDown so he can continue that sweet feud with Gronk. Holy shit!
God damn it!
All right, everybody, the moment we've all been waiting for, the Roman Reigns segment, the critical segment that almost got Braun Strowman fired.
This super overproduced segment that took me right out of the moment of something that could have been really cool.
You know, I honestly didn't even notice the stuff, but I mean, at first. But go on.
Well, where do we start, everybody? Braun came in, beat the fuck out of the guy. They kept playing over and over how we threw him over the table countless times. Then we get the spot where they're trying to get him out of there. And I think it's completely fucking hilarious. And this is just wrestling in general. That you have 8 fucking people, especially security guards, who you're paying, right? Your personnel, who sit there and go, "That's enough, Braun, that's enough. Stop. Fucking touch him, grab him, fucking stop him."
Stop him from what he was doing would have actually killed him.
What?
What do you mean, what?
The character. I'm thinking they're gonna murder him somehow by detaining him.
What Braun did to Roman would have probably killed him in real life. Severely injured him in real life.
But it's hilarious seeing about 12 people go, "Stop, Braun, that's enough." He's not gonna fucking listen to you. Why have him back there then? Why do we hire these people?
Yeah, but are you gonna physically grab Braun while he's trying to beat the shit out of somebody?
If there's 5 other guys that are willing to go in there with me, then sure, I'll try
but
it out.
everyone's got to be willing to like surge at once. I don't know, man. You've seen enough Andre the Giant battle fucking royals. You know it takes a lot of dudes.
Speaking of people not doing their job, when quote unquote Roman Reigns gets thrown off the fucking thing, it's not a ragdoll, it's Roman Reigns. The EMTs who were literally right there take fucking forever to come around and attend to the guy who could be dead at this point.
I like how there were EMTs there. It was a different set of EMTs that came out of nowhere. It wasn't even the EMTs that were closer right on scene.
And I forgot the referee. I think it's John Cohn. I don't remember the name.
John Cohn,
It was John Cohn, right? Yeah. Okay. He's down there. He looks up at like 12 people and goes, "Can someone help?" Did you not see this guy die just now? Why are people standing there? It's hilarious. I love seeing the referees go, "Is there anybody fucking here that helps anybody?"
Is there a doctor in the house? That's
Good Lord, the refs are doing too much work. They don't get paid enough for this shit. So where do we even start with this fucking segment?
Can we talk about the shitty editing on
the doctored footage? Listen, it's live television, right? It's live for a reason because of the unpredictability. The least you could have done was change the camera angle, let the guy fall on some padding or something. Something had to be below him to make it believable. Well, if you're gonna fucking splice image or cuts together,
they figure that most people are watching it like in the arena. They can't. They're sitting far away, and they're not like they don't have the luxury of DVR, and most people probably aren't gonna like rewind and fast forward it a million times to see what's going on.
Except like everybody,
everybody, and the internet and everything, and the network and everything.
The first thing was right when it first happened. First of all, the awkward cut, which was a dead giveaway. But when you look at how the gurney or you look how the stretcher is set up when they're strapping him in, and then when they cut to Braun coming in, it's angled slightly off.
You could tell that they spliced it together awfully.
Yeah.
God.
1 and 2, when Roman Reigns lands on the floor, he landed facing opposite of the audience. Then they cut back to him on the gurney, and somehow he's facing towards us all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Did he defy logic and moved on the other way?
And the fact that he got pushed really fast, it bounced, and it would have landed face first. How are there no facial injuries? There's no way.
Not even that, but the injuries that were included were, I believe it was broken shoulder, cracked ribs, and something else, but nothing of a concussion, nothing of dead, nothing like this.
He should have been
neck,
bloody.
no skull, no face.
And the inconsistencies don't stop here.
Continue.
Oh, I thought you were going to go into the whole thing.
What thing?
The ambulance and such.
Oh, the ambulance. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh. No. Hold on.
I was lobbing it over the plate for you.
Oh fuck no! I dropped that one. No. Here's the funny thing about it. All right, so we'll move on to the ambulance, but I do want to point out that how does a man get cracked ribs when he wears a fucking bulletproof vest?
Exactly.
He can't get hurt. You realize he's protected, right?
It's the cheapest Kevlar ever.
Good Lord. Okay, the ambulance spot. I believe it was Anthony that rushed into my room to tell me because he couldn't fucking wait to get it out. What was it? Strowman, when he goes to lift up the fucking thing, you could see Roman getting out.
Yeah, you can see his feet getting out, and maybe someone who helped because you see,
I had this.
He closed the doors.
I ran into Tyson.
I don't
know.
I ran into Tyson and his brother at the gym the other day, and we were talking about this, right?
Yep.
And I said, was he helped with lifting the ambulance? Like an idiot, I thought this man actually lifted it on his own.
I thought so too. Which,
and then his
which
brother
would have been
said,
pretty fucking rad.
His brother said that there was
a hydraulic lift,
some sort of hydraulics going on.
When they switched the angle, it was very obvious.
Yeah, to help him out
because you
bit.
could see this man, right? He looks in the beginning. He looks like he's trying. He's doing
but hey,
it by
man, for
himself.
getting it up as far as he did on his own. Still, that's
amazing.
Way more than I can
That's
do.
still
I'd throw my
fucking
back
crazy.
out and I wouldn't even move it.
The dead giveaway was you see him kind of lifting it up, and then you see him plateau for maybe a split second, and then all of a sudden, and then like the Hulk all of a sudden appeared and lifted it up extremely high up in the air.
Conveniently at the angle change where you can't see him.
This had so much potential. I mean, if you're not looking into it like we are because we're fucking marks, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was a nice moment for fucking Braun
I thought it
Strowman.
was pretty fucking
and
sweet.
like the fuzzy and like the colored bars and shit didn't even look real either. So like,
Well, here's the thing. The problem with that is you're going to tell me that $1 billion company has ECW fuzz all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and that their tracking is off. Fuck off. Like, come on, man.
It looks so like a setting in like a program to add that feature
Off
in.
of the cuff.
Didn't
You
even
know how
look
you
good.
could have cut that and spliced that a little better? Have the cameraman bust his ass or something, and
Yeah.
like the footage is all like construed and whatnot. But having shitty fucking ECW lines, you know, because the VHS couldn't fucking record properly, is like stupid as hell.
This is like twice in the last month where overproduction killed a really cool angle. The same thing with the Shane McMahon, the random camera in the backseat of the car, of the empty car.
You know what would have been hilarious, and I thought this was gonna happen. I really, really wanted in the bottom of my fucking being for this to happen, that because he was getting carted off into the ambulance, then he flipped it over, right? So then another one comes, he flips that one over, and then another one comes, he flips that one over, until there's no more ambulances left in the region.
They probably couldn't have afforded it.
Until there's no way for Roman to get back, so they have to perform surgery on him right there in the fucking parking lot. Would have been phenomenal. But in any event,
And then Braun comes in, he's like, I'm not done with you yet. And he starts ripping out organs.
He comes out dressed up as a doctor and shit, Stone Cold
takes
style.
the IV out of his fucking arm, everything, does everything to improvise. But as far as what this did for Braun, it was fine for Braun. It was, the production sucked balls. Obviously, we're not gonna sit here and say it was amazing, but for the character itself, it was nice to see that Braun Strowman was not gonna fucking just let this guy get away and get hauled off to the doctors.
And I mean, you can say what you want about the production, but it was realistic enough to get a public outcry for this man's
Get a petition.
job. So.
It did its job.
Yeah, it did its job.
Braun Strowman is officially over because then a fucking petition was started for him harming Roman Reigns. The club and the Shining Stars took on the Hardys and Cesaro. Two things about this that I want to mention. Elias Sampson randomly showed up and just kind of walked away.
Yeah, he drifted away. I don't know what that was
Corey
about.
goes, motherfucker, and disappears into the darkness, and we never saw Elias Sampson again.
Hopefully that'll be the last time we ever see
I have
him.
no idea why this happened. But the second thing I want to mention is how far the club have fallen. Because you cut to the ring, and they show the Shining
The
Stars.
jobber entrance.
Oh boy, they get the title card and the I'm already in the ring fucking face.
Yeah.
Because you cut over to them and they go, and here are the Shining Stars, and Primo and Epico are like, yeah, we're gonna fucking fight and have a good match, and you just see Carl Anderson like, why the fuck am I standing next to the Shining Stars getting a jobber entrance? How have the mighty have fallen, folks, big time. The club are officially teaming up with the Shining Stars.
Their title reign has been like their whole, just everything that they've had.
Their
whole
existence on
push.
WWE has been terrible.
Their
There's-
little push, their title reign, the fall of that, and then them giving it up.
Why didn't they go to SmackDown?
Good question.
That
know.
could have been the best thing you could have done for them. Send them to
Good
SmackDown.
question. I guess they have more plans for them on
Well,
Raw, right?
it's probably because they're turning AJ Styles babyface right now. So
You can't have them have any cronies. Oh, they're turning. Did you just say they're turning AJ babyface? I had no idea he was a heel.
yeah, yeah.
He can't do anything. He could literally murder a child and still be over with the crowd. There's nothing that guy can't do wrong. Dana's backstage reading a fucking book. Says how to be your own protege. She should be reading a book saying how to wrestle gooder because she can't wrestle for shit. Emma came in and said,
By the way, why would you be reading standing up? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why wouldn't you like?
"Why would you
sit in
speak to
a-
somebody shoulder to shoulder?"
Yeah,
There's a lot of questions that can be asked in this situation.
or stand at a weird angle watching television.
Yeah, that's true.
Standing,
That's true.
arms folded, side to side on the television. Come on. But anyways, we saw Emma like once, so that was it. And I guess
Again,
I don't understand
another
what
two
this
people
was all
who were
about.
in full wrestling gear.
full wrestling
didn't have
gear.
a match.
No fucking particular reason.
By the way, Emma said that Dana was her protege. When did that happen? Because I'm pretty
That was
sure.
NXT.
Yeah.
I know. I'm pretty sure
That Dana was the lead on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Dana was definitely the lead on that.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember shit about this. So.
Because Emma got called back down to NXT because she was shit and she needed a new gimmick, and Dana taught her how to be heel.
Yeah.
And she pretty much rode Dana's coattails, and that's why she got the aviators and the lipstick and the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing. Like,
So their continuity is off here.
Well,
She's
I think this is more trying to make Emma seem delusional, but
yeah. Well, I guess, but I mean, it was. I mean, she clearly she was doing like Dana's taunt and the whole fucking deal. So I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Well, if you told me she was delusional, I'd believe you because she spent 16 weeks doing jack shit. So I mean, She was hurt, and then she came back and wanted to be a porn star, and now she's gone. So, and then she came right back again.
They wanted her to be a porn star. She wasn't committing to the gimmick.
In any event, Emma has been the same since she left and came back. Literally no. We didn't see her for 16 weeks, and she's still the same fucking person. Sasha and Bailey came out, had the cringiest moment ever. You know how this goes. They talk about how they're best friends. Then Sasha is this close to saying, "So how about that title match?" And then Alexa Bliss comes out. So I kind of wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear Sasha finally go.
But it's too soon.
I wanted to hear Sasha too soon.
It's too soon.
WrestleMania?
No.
Literally this entire year is not too soon, right?
No,
Okay.
Sasha's not going to heel turn until SummerSlam, bro. You know they're going to drag this thing out as long as they can.
So Alexa comes out. So another just random, just throw someone on the television and, hey guys, she's from SmackDown. Alexa mentions how she is disgusted by this Sasha Bailey fucking whatever that's going on, and that it's weird as fuck and nauseating. And it is. And she's completely right.
And the crowd pop. They were behind it.
They pop because she's right.
Yeah,
she's
true.
not wrong in this situation. And then Mickie James comes out, but sadly, no one cares about Mickie. I like Mickie. I don't hate her.
I don't. Mickie James. I literally vomited when this bitch came out. I'm like, why?
I don't like her. I don't hate her. She's just Mickie James.
Obviously, I was happy to see Alexa, and then Mickie James's shit came on. I'm like,
Alexa got a pop. Alexa gets good pops, so she's pretty much over with the crowd. And I dare say she's more over than anyone that came into that ring that day. So
you say Alexa gets good pops, like Beppy's?
You motherfucker.
Or is she a conch girl?
How dare you bring dank memes into this situation, you scumbag? This is a wrestling show. Fuck off.
You can also sometimes talk about dank memes.
Get out of here, JBL. Fuck off. Nia came out, kills everyone in the ring except for Alexa Bliss. So, Nia's going to be her bodyguard, obviously. What else could happen here? She didn't kill Alexa, so, yeah, I guess Nia Jax is going to be the heavy.
Oh, Alexa just smartly got out of the ring, you know? She just kind of shoved
Come
Sasha
on, man.
into
This
her
is
and dipped
literally
out.
written right. It was written all over this.
I guess.
Alexa needs a good bodyguard who's a large woman to fight everybody else, so there you go.
And Nia can't stand on her own, so.
Nia can't do shit on her own. She can't bump on her own. Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens ended this night. Both these guys had just a match. It was just a match.
I'm pretty sure every WWE television match is just a match.
Yeah, but this is your main event. Kevin Owens did some rest holds. Dean Ambrose did some wacky lunatic fringe stuff. God. And Dean won the match with a fucking DDT, like he always does. And Kevin got code breakered right before he got shipped off to SmackDown. So this was your main event. And this was pretty much, that was it for Raw. And if you had any aspirations of seeing Kevin Owens on Raw after this, I'm sorry, because you can't have the Intercontinental Champion and fucking U.S. Champion on Raw, as much as everyone wants to see Dean Ambrose on fucking Raw, but...
God.
That was it, everybody. That was Raw in a nutshell, or any very long 3-hour nutshell, but...
So, I know we haven't gotten to SmackDown yet, but Raw has totally gotten the shaft on this whole rock. I mean, not that Raw was any good beforehand, but Raw's totally got the shaft in this roster shakeup.
Let me see who they got here. I think they did get the shaft because they got literally Miz and Maurice. That's it.
That's the best thing they got.
Alexa Bliss, maybe Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt's more suitable for Raw because Raw is a gimmick show and it's not about wrestlers. So if he wants to crucify people, he could do it on Raw.
The show is already super boring as it is. It's going to be unbearable.
Oh, however, they did get Kurt Hawkins.
I forgot. I take that back. Raw totally won this.
Let's not forget about Kalisto.
And Kalisto and fucking Apollo Crews. So team fucking we don't know what's going on.
So they'll have the whitest teeth of both brands. So I guess that's good for them.
And what a shit trade because SmackDown got Sin Cara.
Yeah.
And Raw got Kalisto. I mean, it's not the original Sin Cara, which would have been fucking terrible because that's the worst trade you could possibly ever do. But yeah, everybody, Raw dead. Yeah, they got shafted all right.
Raw is going to be Raw's already painful to watch. I do not want to watch the show anymore.
And if you haven't watched the Hulu version yet, now it's the time because David Otunga is going to be on commentary, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'll watch it just for Bliss, and that's it.
You know what they should do, honestly? honestly, in all seriousness, Raw's already garbage. Here's what you do. You put Percy Watson, Byron Saxton, and David Otunga on the same commentary booth.
Shit show.
It'll be the worst fucking commentary. And we're gonna
Nobody will say anything of note for 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
You have a countdown to see who talks the firstest, and that'll be it. Yeah. And who can the cringy meter? That's what we'll call
No one will
this.
have anything of importance to say.
Good Lord have mercy. What a great idea. SmackDown Live, April 11, 2017, at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. The ratings for this show, 3.105. And like I said before, retained 90% of the Raw audience, so everyone tuned in to see what was going to happen. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Charlotte, the Shining Stars, Lana, Rusev, The New Day, and Byron Saxton all went to SmackDown. So,
you knew Charlotte
Tamina.
Yeah. You knew Charlotte was going over once she wasn't involved in that segment with Bayley and Sasha.
Yeah.
You knew that. Charlotte
and that devastating second loss.
Yeah.
Can't have 2 blonde heels in the ring, man.
Oh, not a chance. And thankfully for Charlotte, she escaped the communist country known as Raw.
Yeah.
She could finally seek refuge over here and the land of opportunity.
Yeah, and bury the rest of the fucking SmackDown bitches.
The first few minutes into the show, and all of a sudden, Byron Saxton is at the announcer's booth with no announcement, no warning, and no mention of Raw, or no mention of Otunga going to Raw. So literally, if you don't have a phone or a laptop, you would have never known that these guys swapped. The first person out the gate is Kevin Owens. So once again, following the theme of just go out there. They'll figure it out.
They couldn't do something more creative with this whole thing, like maybe have like an ESPN style like trade center sort of thing.
Well, at least Kevin tried. He shaved his beard, and he tried to look different for SmackDown. And they did not waste any time getting things started, because then we had Corbin come out, talk about how he was owed a fucking title shot to a guy who went to Raw. And it's funny because he won that fucking street fight, and then the guy is randomly on Raw the next day, or the next week. So he is owed a mid-level title shot.
Yes.
Which is completely true. Then we get Sami coming out. So finally Sami Zayn is on SmackDown. It's only taken him this long. We get a bunch of... Oh, Kevin... As soon as Kevin sees Sami, he has a face that's like, fuck, I can't get rid of this guy, man. Holy fuck. He follows me everywhere. AJ comes out, and then we have a #1 contendership announcement by Daniel Bryan. Think about this, folks. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and even Baron Corbin, #1 contendership for the U.S. title.
Well, not Kevin Owens, because he already has the U.S. title.
Well, he's in the U.S. title picture.
Yeah.
Point being, why the fuck are you wasting all of that talent on the U.S. title, and you've got Randy just walking around with the belt?
Well, obviously, whoever doesn't win can go and, play with Randy or whatever.
Well, you have to wait for the whole House of
That's
Mirrors
right.
match or House of whatever.
Yeah, that is true. I'm just happy that we have an opportunity to see AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens now, which is fucking sweet.
So, everyone that watched this, AJ won the match, but I just need to say this real quick. This is per the Wrestling Observer once again. Owens versus AJ Styles is likely for the U.S. title on the May 21st Backlash pay-per-view in Chicago. There doesn't seem like a ready-made opponent for Orton on that show, so unless they keep the Wyatt program, that would seem to leave the challenger as Corbin, because it would seem too early for Nakamura. So basically, there's no world title picture on SmackDown at the moment, because Orton's having a feud with a guy who's on Raw now. Kevin's having a feud with a guy who's still on Raw.
Well, in their defense, Bray is coming soon to Raw.
So we're going to announce people for shows and go... Not just yet, because we still have house shows and feuds to wrap up.
This whole roster shakeup was so poorly done.
It was... Well, they didn't have any house shows. I'm sorry, I take that back, because they did this during a week where there was no house shows because of the WrestleMania, I guess, cool down or whatever. But in any event, yeah, there's still rivalries going on here, and all of a sudden there's a shakeup. So now, I guess Payback's officially an interpromotional fucking show, a cross-promotional show.
Yeah.
Because we got guys on two different fucking...
You got Jericho and Owens. You got...
With stipulation of whoever wins the match takes the belt to them with whatever fucking brand they're on. So I guess, yeah, there you go. So belts could be exchanged. So as of right now, Kevin Owens, in storyline, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles is up for debate because if Jericho wins, he's coming to SmackDown.
Yeah, which I mean, it's not happening. So
of course, but because Jericho's going to go away for a bit.
Yeah.
This SmackDown in a nutshell, we had Randy and Eric Rowan. We had Ty Dillinger and fucking Aiden English. I'll get to that in a second, but it's the simple fact that why are we bringing guys over from Raw like Jinder Mahal, who took on Mojo Rawley, just to lose to guys? Why? What was the purpose of the acquisition? Why are we acquiring men who can't win on the shows that they're being acquired by?
Because they're good hands and new faces.
Why not just have a squash match?
It's a shakeup, bro.
Why are we trading for Jinder Mahal and then feeding him to goddamn Mojo Rawley when we could?
The man that's developmental forgot. I don't know.
We could have Mojo take on some random dude from Boston. I don't know, man. Some dude in a fucking Will Middlebrooks jersey could take on.
Because Gronk,
Will
bro.
Middlebrooks. Wow. But the only good thing about or actually no, I can't even say because Heath and Rano got traded. I was about to say that Jinder was on SmackDown with Heath Slater. All we're missing is the recently re-signed Drew McIntyre.
Don't even try it.
3MB back, baby.
Don't even try it, motherfucker, because it will not be.
I hope 3MB comes back at some point.
Jinder's too busy with steroids. Heath's too busy with Rhino, and Drew's too busy being good. So,
well, hopefully they let Drew be good. I hope so.
According to the NXT match, he should be good because he was phenomenal in that match. But Randy Orton versus Eric Rowan. So basically, the reason why I have an issue with this fucking segment is one, Randy won. But two, Eric Rowan has nobody now. He had Bray. He came back, and it was all cool, right? In the fucking burnt down compound. And then Bray just kind of flees to Raw.
So now Eric has no daddy.
So Eric Rowan is essentially in the tier 4 jobber list, along with Jinder Mahal.
So he's part of the catering crew now, right?
I suppose you brought the guy back.
Does he set out like the cutlery?
He had a good gimmick, being with Bray Wyatt, and like you said, Bray's not very good on his own. I mean, he has potential to be good on his own, but he's always followed by people. He's always being followed by people.
You can't have a cult leader gimmick without followers, man.
So what the fuck? Why are we burying Eric Rowan, right?
What are we going back to the fucking 2010 San Francisco Giants?
Good Lord. So why are we burying this guy, right? Well, in the last 2 weeks, he's been teaming up with Bray in the main event, not title picture, main event picture, sort of, quote unquote. And now all of a sudden, he's just having a match with Randy Orton on SmackDown and losing to him. He got his ass whipped this whole match. And if it wasn't for the appearance by Bray Wyatt, who all of a sudden is on SmackDown again, live from the fucking burnt down compound. And then he loses, and it was a no contest because fucking Rowan beat him up. But I don't understand where this title picture is at. Really, I really don't understand what's going on.
You think maybe Luke and Eric will tag team and just be a tag team?
I'd rather see Luke Harper go off on his own because he's a good fucking singles performer.
I'd rather see that too. But I mean, like, Eric's kind of gonna just drift, He's just going to get lost in the shuffle.
Well, he joins the ranks of, like, everybody else. Just like just like fucking Jinder Mahal. Just like fucking... who did Ty wrestle this week? I don't even remember who Ty wrestled. Was it Jinder Mahal? No, it was not Jinder Mahal.
No.
Who the fuck did Ty Dillinger wrestle? Aiden English. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aiden English, I have to address this right now. First of all, fuck you, Ty, for breaking up that fucking sweet.
Yes.
I was being treated to some great singing.
I'm so glad they brought his NXT gimmick back. I've been waiting for this.
It was actually not that bad. I don't want to get my ass whipped here, but it was not. I was enjoying this. I laughed. I was legitimately enjoying this.
Yes, he brought the whole NXT gimmick back, and I loved it so much.
I
was talking about this like 2 weeks ago on the show.
So here I am in my fucking seat with my hand in my pants, being serenaded by Aiden English, and this motherfucker Ty Dillinger just comes out and ruins it for me. Who the fuck is this guy?
What a fucking asshole!
What a piece of shit.
Wow.
Speaking of Ty Dillinger, if you noticed his little SmackDown stats, boy, did they fill me in on some cool stuff about Ty Dillinger. Like, his nickname's the Perfect 10, and his finisher's the Tiebreaker. Awesome.
Good to know.
I like him way more now. And I do need to ask a question here of WWE. Why are we just sending Ty Dillinger out there with just a shirt and just 2 hands. Where's the jacket? Where's the card heading in his ass?
I've been waiting for the fucking card.
Where's anything that was cool about his gimmick?
Maybe when he gets a full-on entrance and he's not like interrupting a heel or something.
The most I know about this guy is he could count to 10 and he wears shirts. It's the only thing I've gathered from any of this.
You don't even know if he can count to 10. You just know that he says 10. He likes the number 10.
And he's got a sweet man bun.
I hope you're right about this, Anthony. I hope that they give him his gimmick back because as of right now, Ty Dillinger is just some dude with fingers. and Ushigoroshi is a finisher, which AJ Styles does on a regular occasion.
As a sig.
As a signature, yes. So
it's kind of awkward on the same show.
You could argue. I'm not arguing against you. I'm completely on board with what you're saying. But you could argue that I guess AJ does it to the neck and Ty does it to the back. But then again, it's the same fucking move.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking move. Jinder Mahal and Mojo Rawley. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. The Usos versus American Alpha. Oh boy. It's American Alpha on television again. And this feud is still going on, everybody. It's been going on since, I don't know, the brand split.
Yeah.
JBL mentions that these are some of the 2 best tag teams in the world.
He was talking about how hot the SmackDown tag team division was.
So hot.
Oh, my God.
Man. Oh. I threw up a little in my mouth.
And it's been even hotter now because the shining stars are here. Yeah.
More guys in jeans. Yeah. Hey.
Cool.
You can even argue they downgraded because they released Simon Gotch and they essentially traded fucking Heath Slater and Ryback, which are cooler.
And Ryback?
And Rhino.
Good Lord, what a team.
Wow.
They would still be Beauty and the Man Beast, right?
I guess, yeah.
These are the 2 best tag teams in the world, everybody. This is they're the best at what they do. Fuck the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Fuck anybody else. Fuck Red Dragon. Fuck everybody else.
Fuck the Revival.
Fuck the Revival, dude. The Revival are shit. They ain't shit compared to the Usos, man. The Usos are cool as fuck, right? And Chad Gable's the man, and fucking Jason Jordan are the man, because they have super cool galaxy fucking jumpsuits, right? Anyways, I need to mention something, and I haven't mentioned it before, but Jimmy Uso wrestles in a fucking True Religion shirt, a chain, and some bleach white Jordans. And it didn't bother me until right now when I noticed this guy is going to the mall. And here he is wrestling a match against 2 guys in legit fucking wrestling gear.
If only he had some Bapes on, that'd be sweet.
What an asshole, man. This really got them over as heels for me. The Usos got a good pop because no one gives a shit about American Alpha anymore.
No.
So the Usos won this match, and guess what? No one cared about American Alpha any more or any less because they're continuing a feud that is way past overdue its fucking day. The fucking Shining Stars show up. They beat the shit out of Gable and Jordan. And that's it. That's it. Cut to commercial. If you really wanted to debut these fucking guys, have them pass out flyers obnoxiously and crush Jason Jordan's chest with a fucking pair of steel steps and then put him through a table and then pee on Chad Gable and maybe you could get them over. But the Shining Stars, no one gives a shit. Sorry, guys. I don't know what else to say about these fellows. Jinder Mahal and Mojo Rawley, Gronk got involved. It was another burial. You know how this works. You wanted to say something?
I'm just glad Gronk's still here. You know me, I'm a Gronk fan.
Gronk, get him off the show.
It is kind of cancer.
Why is he on my television?
But it makes my inner Gronk fan smile. So.
Fuck him.
Well, Gronk did throw his tequila with lime at Jinder Mahal. And I don't understand why this was not a disqualification because I will not accept any type of tomfoolery on my wrestling shows. So if a guy throws tequila at another man, yeah, he should win that match. Shane came out to address the new addition to the women's division. We talked about this. Charlotte came out. Tamina was the swerve. It was hilarious. Then Charlotte came out, posed on the ramp, cut to commercial. So I don't know why they had to do that. She didn't come to the ring, talk to the women. There was no interaction. It was just, hi guys, I'm Charlotte. And it's so good to see everybody here on fucking SmackDown. We had a vignette of Lana basically doing what Emelina should have done. Be a fucking stripper. her and Rusev were announced as coming over to SmackDown, and I can't wait for Rusev because it's about fucking time that he did some good stuff and be treated not like shit, because anywhere the Big Show is not, I guess you got a shot, right? And I guess Lana's supposed to be taking over for this shitty fucking gimmick that was Emelina. And I hope that they don't take 16 weeks to debut Lana. I hope they're not holding her back. I can't wait any longer, guys. Let's give it to her right. Give it to me right now, please. Dolph Ziggler came out, talked about the shakeup and whatnot. Nakamura makes his entrance. The coolest thing about all of this is that Nakamura didn't have to say a fucking word. Literally didn't have to say shit. He came out, and it was funny because Dolph Ziggler goes, "Well, who are you? Who the fuck are you?" And Nakamura goes, "I guess who they've been chanting for the last 10 minutes, right, Dolph? You got ears?"
You know what's crazy? So a guy at work comes up to me the other day, hasn't watched wrestling in 4 years, okay? He just happened to catch SmackDown, and he's, like, describing Nakamura to me. Like I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
And he's just like, dude, like, this Asian guy came out. And,
This Asian guy, go on.
He had these eyes and, like, this thing in his mouth, and, like, it was so fucking
his
cool.
mouthpiece.
Yeah, he's like, it was so fucking cool, man. Like, I've never seen anything like that. It was ridiculous. And, like, it was really interesting just to see, like, a total casual get his first taste of Nakamura and, like, just be on the dick so hard, like, right out the gate. And I was like, you know what, good for you, Shinsuke. Good for you.
Shinsuke is the reason he doesn't need to do promos, and he cut, like, he said maybe about 2 words during this whole thing, like, I'm
said his
Shinsuke
name.
Nakamura. He let the crowd do all the chanting because guess what? He does not need to talk, really. I mean, maybe at one point when he was in New Japan, he was a good mic worker, but because it's his language, obviously he did a lot better over there. But over here with the whole language barrier, he doesn't need to talk. His gimmick works without talking, and that's fine. He comes out, he does his entrance. He's very flamboyant. He does his thing. He'll be over, no problem. And I am kind of excited to see him and Dolph Ziggler go at it because Dolph Ziggler's a good wrestler, and so is Shinsuke Nakamura. So we'll see how that ends up. The end of the night was AJ versus Corbin versus Sami Zayn for the #1 contendership for the U.S. Championship. This is an awesome match.
The match was fucking fantastic.
This is a great match. And what else did you expect from guys like Sami Zayn and AJ Styles? And Corbin, too. Corbin did his fair share
all
of
three of these
good
guys
work.
can work, yeah.
AJ pinned Sammy with a phenomenal forearm, and I'm saying that's his move, not because it was great or anything. And now AJ Styles is the #1 contender for a belt that won't be defended until May 21st. So there you go, everybody. That was SmackDown.
It was nuts. That Blue Thunder was fucking nuts.
SmackDown was pretty much better than Raw, like it is every fucking week. So
Oh, well, man, you forgot about Corbin's sweet promo.
what did he say? Something about being
like-
a football player and stuff?
He's like, there's a whole bunch of black and white shots of his face. Like, I guess he's like a light bulb swinging in the dark or something.
Hanging out at a factory, yeah.
He's like, this is not my dream. This is just what I do. I don't give a damn. I'm waiting for that fucking shirt to come out.
Son of a bitch.
Like, he's talking about the business like this is his weekly squash game or something. Like, this is just a thing I do, man. Like,
I didn't pay no dues. Fuck this company.
I don't even lift, bro. I just fucking show up. Yeah.
Well-
I marked pretty hard. When this
Well, he
shit
came
out.
off that legendary feud with Dean Ambrose. You can't expect anything else, right? Him and Dean certainly had a riveting fucking rivalry.
Yeah.
How could you, Dean?
God damn it.
How could you? And Dean goes, "How could you crush my soul with a forklift?" NXT, April 12th, 2017. So it looks like NXT got a new theme song. I don't know why they did that. The old one was cool.
Yeah, I like the old one.
Aleister Black came out and squashed some random fucking nerd. He kicked him right in the goddamn face and won the match in
Quickest
like
match ever. Yeah.
less than 5 seconds. And that was it for that. Aleister Black still looking strong, I suppose. DIY took on 2 jobbers. However, one of those jobbers did not look like a jobber. He looked like a fucking animal. The only issue with this man was that his name is Dylan Miley. Dylan fucking Miley.
That's a jobber name if I've ever heard one.
Here's the problem. His shoot first name is Dylan. His last shoot name is Rude, which is obviously you can't have that on the show. So why the fuck would you keep his shoot first name and add Miley to it?
Just give him another
Who the
first
fuck
name.
did this? You can't give this guy can't give him a different name, right? You could have called him Crusher Krusev or some stupid shit like that, right? We had to give him the gayest name you could possibly give him, right? Anyways, he looked pretty strong in this match against DIY. They put him over. It wasn't until he tagged in Caitlyn's fucking younger brother, who came in and lost the match for the team known as Michael Blaze and fucking Dylan Miley.
But that dude like half dyed his hair.
He half dyed his hair and he was definitely broken. He got his ass kicked. Miley is furious. After the match.
Didn't they chant Broken Rollins at him? Yeah, or Broken Seth or whatever.
Who
it was,
cares?
yeah.
Some form of broken. DIY pinned Michael Blaze after the super kick knee combo, which doesn't have a name yet. Just the super kick knee.
I suppose. Yeah.
No fucking cool name for that one. Miley is furious. He stares down DIY like he wants to eat them both. Then he kills the poor man. Kills Caitlyn in the middle of the ring. Because fuck that guy. But Dylan Miley, everybody, I'm looking forward to seeing more of this man because he's massive. 1. 2, he's not a jobber. He doesn't look like a jobber, and you can't tell me he needs to be a jobber for this for his career. Change his name, by the way.
I feel like they're building him kind of like they did Dave Matha, whatever.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, the dude that they had 4 weeks worth of vignettes for him to show up and get squashed by fucking Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
With his fucking steroid back acne.
Yeah. He did a lot of
They
staring into
premiered
the
a guy who did squashes?
Yeah.
They had like 4 or 5 weeks of vignettes.
It was a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot
Talking
of him
about this
staring into the hard cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like the big entrance and
Where's he at now?
Nowhere.
No one knows.
He got squashed by Joe like 2 months ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
3 months ago, whatever the fuck it was.
Well, like I said, change this fucker's name, please, to, I don't know, Otis or something. Actually, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Otis
our
Dozovich
boy
is my man.
Dozovich, yeah.
Nah. Give him a new name, everybody. Don't. If you're going to tell me the new NXT champion, Dylan Miley, I'm going to fucking stop watching this show. Ember Moon had a vignette about how she's super sad about her loss to Asuka and how Asuka did anything it took to win the belt back. And she's a super bad person, and no one cares because Asuka's still a fucking face to all of us.
I don't think this was a good move for a character because she looks super weak, and I mean it kind of humanized her, but at the same time, Ember Moon's been like this unstoppable force, since she showed up. Now she's got her hair up and a little like performance center jacket on, and she's so butthurt.
I didn't mind it. I just minded the fact that they're really trying to get Asuka over as a bad person. And come on, Asuka's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Who's gonna hate this woman? Don't stop. Just embrace it. Let them fight about stuff. We don't need to turn her heel, please. She's never gonna be a heel. Ruby Riott versus Kimber Lee. You heard that? Kimber fucking Lee.
I really enjoyed how between Tom Phillips and whoever the ring announcer was, they couldn't figure out how to pronounce her last name. The ring
Frankly, literally,
yeah,
frankly, it was frankly.
Yeah, and then Tom Phillips said it, which I think is the right way. Is Frankel.
All right, here's my issue. How the fuck are you going to change a fucking amazing name like Kimber Lee? It's awesome.
Yeah.
And give her the gayest name of all time, Frankly. Or Frankel. Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay? Why is this woman named Frankel?
Kimberly Frankel is not a name that rolls off the tongue.
No. That's a jobber name,
Yes.
folks. Okay? Give her the Kimberly name, because it fucking rules. And she'll be nothing else but Kimberly to everybody else. Nikki Cross came out to watch the match. She just stood there, looked really creepy. Ruby Riott wins with her version of the Pele kick. I guess. I don't know. They referred to it as a Pele kick. I don't think it was very much of a Pele kick, but the match wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. 2 women who could work. It's a lot better than watching Peyton Royce fucking stink up the joint every goddamn week. WWE needs to invest in women like this. Okay?
Well, we'll have the tournament coming up, so...
The tournament's coming up, and thankfully, God, I hope to God that Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are nowhere to be found.
They're too established, I don't think they'll be on it, but you might see Ruby Riott, and you'll probably see Kimberly Frankel on it.
And maybe Mandy Rose, hey.
Yep, Mandy Rose is so awesome. I remember that match she had with Tanahashi last year. It was a lot of fun. There was some weird-ass segment where Liv Morgan...
What?
Yeah, what just happened?
That was a fucking joke, man. She's not a good wrestler. What was the point? There was some weird-ass segment where Liv Morgan pushed Billie Kay into an ice tub for bullying Aaliyah.
By the way, cheapest Australian
You have notes
pun.
on this? Go on.
I do. I just won. Cheapest Australian pun ever, okay? Because at one point, when she's in the fucking ice tub, Peyton Royce says to Billie Kay, looks like you're going down under. And I'm like,
That wasn't Peyton Royce. That was
that
was Liv.
Yeah.
Was that Liv?
Yes.
Why would
I thought Peyton said that. I don't know. I don't
Why
know.
would Peyton say that?
There was a lot going on. Cameras shaking around. Ice is everywhere.
Liv in her fucking ridiculous glasses.
He said ISIS is everywhere. Go on. No, yeah, Liv said it. Well,
Did Liv? Well, I guess that makes more
yeah.
sense.
What? First
I
of
don't
all,
fucking know. She used a fake ass accent with it. Who the fuck cares?
Aaliyah's like the A plus student. She's not gonna say nothing about it. Liv's a fucking bitch from Jersey, and Peyton's crying. Why the fuck would Peyton Royce say that?
Well, I don't know. Liv's not relevant anyway. So
No one wanted to help old Billy get out of that tub. By the way, everyone just
They were just watching, like-
Peyton had the camera and was just like, "This is hilarious."
The fucking dude who helped her out was like laughing. You could see
He shrugged and
trying
went,
not to
"Oh, I
smile.
guess I don't
it is
know.
what
Who
it
gives a
is."
fuck, man?" But yeah, Billy Kay resorting to bullying fucking Aaliyah. That's what they're doing these days, just bullying people. I can't wait for the
Nice
Mean Girls
cat
gimmick.
ears, bitch.
Aaliyah, by the way, Aaliyah, she looks great and she has a nice look and she's a pretty chick, but fuck is she boring, man. She's just so boring. They got to do something more with her. Liv is, oh god, Liv's cringy as shit, but out of when the
At least
32
she kind of has a character.
she
Yeah.
kind of has a character, yeah. When the 32 women tournament comes in,
They're not going to be in it.
oh fuck no, they're gonna be
least I hope
so
not.
out. They're
So
gonna
have
be
they-
out
have
the
they
door.
It's official then. Like
It's official. They haven't just released the names of the people who are going to be in it. 'Cause they probably
Do
haven't
they
got it.
have-
They're ironing things
Do
out.
you have
I
a date
suppose.
yet, or?
I know summer.
Yeah,
Okay.
summer. That's all we know so far. It's just the summer, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But
Okay, cool.
Hopefully,
If-
Candice LeRae and
God.
Kaylee Ray are both in this fucking
and
thing.
Io Shirai
And Io Shirai, yes.
and a lot of good talent from Japan. But here's my thing. Okay, when you get the 32 women thing, you're gonna have to sign some of these chicks because they're gonna kick
obviously,
ass.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen to the legends like Billy Kay and fucking Peyton Royce?
The legends.
Are they gonna and Liv Morgan too? Liv sucks ass, but like, what are they gonna do with all these women who?
They're gonna get called up in November's draft.
That's true. They could get called up and do jack
And maybe
shit
just
on Raw.
expand the division, too.
Put Billy and Peyton on Raw so they could fucking bully people on that show. I can't wait for them to bully fucking Nia Jax about her weight. Oni Lorcan versus Drew McIntyre. Okay. This is a great fucking match. Awesome match. Lots of fun. Drew looks great. He did a lot of cool shit during this match, and Oni beat the piss out of him, and likewise. The only issue I have here is, why the fuck would you change Broken Dreams, which was the best goddamn theme on the face of the earth, and now he has Roddy's theme with some fucking bagpipes over it. Or Roddy's old theme, I mean. His official, his first theme out of the gate. And you just threw some bagpipes over it. What the fuck?
Because, you know, you have to really, like, hint at the fact that he's Scottish.
Oh yeah, we really need to know that.
I like how he really Americanized his accent when he came back. Like, he was getting super Scottish on ICW, but he's you can understand him again now. So that's nice.
He's the chosen one. Remember that. They beat the shit out of each other, and everything was fine about this match. So Drew McIntyre comes back. He's officially, I guess, he's in the same realm as Cassius Ohno. As I guess they're gonna put him in the title picture. Obviously, there's no way you can't.
I feel like he can't not be top of the card. It's
And-
probably him and Ono and Rude and who am I missing?
Ohno, Rude, maybe Roddy.
No, Roddy's
not a top guy?
No, he's not.
No, Roddy's so far from the top right
guys,
now.
don't be
I would like
that.
I would like him
Roddy's
to be there.
Roddy's going to be out of the company next year. He's going to flounder in WWE. So.
Wow.
Unfortunately, hey, Roddy's the man, but I mean, it is what it is.
What makes you think he'll flounder?
Because he's a shitty gimmick. He's a shitty character.
They
He's a
haven't-
good wrestler. He's not. He's a very shitty promo.
And they're pushing him as a face. Like,
Yeah.
they're not.
That's his downfall. He is not a face. He
Yeah.
can never be a face. Roddy's one of the best heels.
He's already
ever.
like No Way Jose's here. You know, think about it.
Well, he's not no way Jose too.
Well, I'm just saying.
No Way
he's-
Jose's-
with him, yeah.
I'm
No,
saying
that's
he's being
fucking
billed.
garbage.
He's being billed that way, and they're actually like using No Way Jose to like boost him up. Think about that shit.
True. I saw a picture with him and Tommy. Are they gonna do something like a team, like tag team or some shit? Isn't that tag team thing coming up soon?
I know Hideo's
no
sitting
idea.
on the couch like
He was
so
supposed to
tight
go to
right
205
now looking at
Live.
Nakamura.
Who, Tommy?
Yeah.
What a lost cause that is.
Yep.
But yeah, Drew McIntyre probably gonna be in the title picture, and if Bobby Roode
Yeah.
gets called up in the next couple months, it'll be Drew's gonna be your champion for
Which
quite a
would be
while.
cool.
And Drew's awesome. Drew, I don't remember too much of his career before coming back, but he's definitely way better than he was before.
Yeah.
And all this guy
Just
really,
watching some of his shit in ICW. Yeah.
all he really needed was a beard, and a trip around the world, and now he's fine and he's legit all over again. So that was your NXT, and that was your week in WWE, everybody.
Well, you're missing the most important part of the show.
Fuck it. Okay, so Nakamura came out, talked about how everyone's awesome, and he bit the dust. I mean, come on. What? Oh, and there's a cage match, too. So Ty Dillinger's doing a lot of work here because he's going to be in a cage match eventually. So he's going to go from SmackDown and then be in a cage against
Eric Young.
Fucking Eric Young, yeah, so.
But yeah, Nakamura had his farewell speech. Actually, was better than I thought it was going to be.
I skipped it, so
it was nice. And
you guys can talk about it.
It was the longest I've heard him on the mic since being on NXT. So it was nice to hear him talk. And
I gotta keep the spit.
I just and I don't want to shit on this whole thing, but they kept cutting to this like woman crying.
Yeah,
like Nakamura was fun to watch and he was cool in NXT, but he wasn't like that life changing or that like show changing.
I feel like he kind of was. I feel like the last year or so was pretty profound. Like, he was a big part of NXT.
Yeah, he was a big part of NXT.
He was literally the most over thing going for.
He was the most over thing on a declining show.
Regardless, he was still the most over thing on the show. So. Yeah,
but not enough for like. They literally watched him for a year, and it's not like this. This harkens back to the whole like ESPN covering Tony Romo when he left to go to CBS.
You're really comparing Nakamura to Tony Romo right now?
Yeah, well, Nakamura doesn't get hurt.
And Nakamura is good.
Yeah.
But no, like, the fact that, like, ESPN for hours on end, like, eulogized this guy. He just, like, he was already, like, being phased out of his team, and he left to go do television.
I remember.
The guy's not dead.
We all saw your status, Anthony.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, the guy's not dead. Like, she can just watch him on Tuesday nights instead of Wednesdays. So.
You know what? Here's the thing. If I was thinking to myself, you know what? Now he's going on the main roster, and he's going to be a part of some really awful booking. I'd cry, too, a little bit on the inside.
I guess,
It's Nakamura's.
Yeah, but let the guy have his farewell. You know, everyone was really into it. You know, he was a bigger fixture on the show. So
it was.
He's all right. How about this? I'm not gonna. I don't know who to agree with because he was obviously a massive fixture, but he's not like the biggest thing that happened. But he was an amazing personality on NXT.
I mean,
he was.
Let the guy have a send off. Like I didn't have a problem with it.
He was really, really awesome for the time that he was there. But he's also in that same tier of guys that's just in NXT to get to the WWE roster.
You just shuffle him in to call him
to
up.
Move on up.
There was nothing really. I mean, besides the match he had with Sammy.
His matches against Joe got really fucking boring towards the end there, where they were in the cage match, and it was just another match. Like, you weren't watching anything different.
Like, he was just part of it for such a brief time. Like, he wasn't, like, a big thing for a long time. Like, when, like, Bayley and Sasha kind of got their send-offs, they were a big part of it for its growth. Like, Sami Zayn was a big part of it for a long time, and it helped it grow. Like, Shinsuke was already there. He was part of the decline. Not that it was his fault. He was the biggest thing on it, but...
Sammy, I would say, Sammy, you can't include Kev. Kev was there for a cup of coffee, really. He was there for like 3 months. He was gone. Sammy was around for I think the first biggest match they had was him and fucking Bo Dallas, right? For the belt. He couldn't win the big one.
That was him and Neville. But he was
Neville,
around,
I'm sorry.
He was around before
Neville.
that. Sammy had been there for like 3 years.
And him and Neville had the greatest face against face rivalry you could ever fucking see.
That was fantastic.
But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Sammy had a bigger role. Nakamura was a good personality when they lost everybody, so they needed someone to harp onto. It's just his quality of matches was just.
He was also the first major import to like really get over. Sorry, Hideo.
Finn Balor.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, Nakamura is great, but Nakamura wasn't like the soul of NXT.
He was the soul for 2016. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, he was the soul of NXT for at least for the last year.
No,
Absolutely.
He wasn't. No.
Who was bigger than him last year?
NXT was declining. NXT had no soul.
There
was no direction for NXT.
Who was bigger than him last year? Regardless of where the show was going, regardless of the booking, regardless of the direction, who was bigger than him last year?
In NXT?
Crickets.
No, nobody.
Joe.
But there was no life to the show.
Wasn't.
The show was not good, besides what Nakamura and Asuka did. The show was not good for an entire year.
Nakamura basically kept the lights on for all of 2016. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, ...
You're not getting what I'm saying, obviously. But
Please clarify.
There was, and you guys caught most of the tail end, but there was a character to NXT. There was a whole, the sum is greater than the parts, and Bayley and Sasha and all the women and Sami Zayn, they were all, I think, bigger pieces to NXT than what Nakamura didn't really do anything for NXT. Like, yeah, he was the best thing, but he didn't really do anything for NXT.
Okay.
Well, the NXT, the only
For the thing as a whole.
NXT, when Sammy was around, when Kevin was around, when Bayley was around, all these people were around, like Sasha, NXT was still coming from Full Sail, so they weren't on the road. I think the reason why...
Well, they were on the road then, too, but
they
not-
weren't as
not-
much
no,
as when
yeah, not what
Nakamura
they're
came
doing,
around.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
when Nakamura came around, we got fucking week after week of recaps after recaps, and it was fucking boring as hell.
Yeah.
And then they took that massive break, so it really killed their
Yeah.
momentum. So Nakamura was good for a...
Nakamura was good for Nakamura, but it wasn't.
He was the only good thing about
Yeah.
NXT
Yeah.
when he was there.
Yeah.
But NXT was a lot of fun before he got
Yeah.
there. So, I mean, he was the best thing about NXT television. It's certainly the
Yeah.
best thing about WWE before he even got up to the main roster. It's just NXT was not a lot of fun.
But yeah, I wouldn't say it was the
a
heart
lot
and
of
soul
fun.
because it felt like the show didn't really have any heart and soul.
Well, they
for
were
a long time,
struggling.
yeah.
They lost talent. There's nothing you could do about that. And Nakamura was the biggest thing that they got right before. But I mean, I guess Bobby Roode, but Nakamura is better than Bobby Roode in
Yeah.
every facet. But, you know.
I feel like it's easy to make those statements if you look at the two eras comparatively, because Sasha, Bayley, Sammy, and all that was during the rise of NXT, when it was still, like you said, coming out of Full Sail. It was still gaining traction. It was still like this big, like, internet behemoth that was coming out of nowhere. All right, there was a whole different era. Nakamura was the linchpin of NXT once it was established as its own thing, as its own brand. It stopped being this like little developmental thing that was like building up, and it became like its own fucking thing. So at
It was
that
already
point,
its own thing before he got there.
it was. I know, but what I'm saying is he was the biggest thing of that era, and it's kind of hard. Like, it's easy to downplay his impact in comparison to like the actual rise of NXT, because there is more going on at the time, because there is the whole like
I just don't
indie
think he was a
revolution
game-
and all that other shit going on,
I don't think, and
and the women's thing and all that. Like it's like, if you want to, like, it's kind of like apples and oranges. It's kind of an unfair comparison.
I don't mean it to be a slight against him. I just, because it's not his fault. It's just happened to be where creative was. There was during the draft, and people got moved around, and there was not a lot of focus on it. He just happened to be during that time, but he didn't really change NXT.
I don't know. I don't want to use that as a platform to like take anything away from him. You know, like I don't want to like disparage what he did. I mean, he was still a pretty big part, at least for the last year. I mean,
I'm not trying to.
He was the whole damn show.
Well,
He was the whole damn show on a show with nothing else, really. I mean, and that's not discrediting, because obviously we all like Nakamura. Nakamura's a great worker.
He's my favorite wrestler. Yeah.
I'm not sitting here saying he's a shit worker. Obviously, that's not the case. It's just NXT right before everyone got called up was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Then fucking Vince raided all of fucking Triple H's guys.
Yeah.
And then Triple H stumbled upon Nakamura, and Nakamura came over. AJ went straight to the main roster, so he skipped NXT.
I feel like Nakamura was there for at least for a little bit, right, like before all the guys came up. You know, he still had his thing with Sammy. He
Sammy-
he
That
showed
happened
up.
at WrestleMania, and the draft happened 2 months later.
Sammy only had that match with Sammy, but Sammy was going to the main
Sammy
roster
was
no
on his
matter
way
what.
out, but he still had a little thing with Sammy. He had his thing with Finn. Like, he still was able to. He touched part of that era. It's not like they had the draft and then all of a sudden Nakamura showed up.
If they had more time to develop those storylines, Finn was on his way out. He
Yeah.
wanted one more match with Nakamura, and then he was out.
Yeah.
And same thing with Sammy. They both had their last matches with Nakamura. So Nakamura came in right after everyone, because it was after Wrestle Kingdom, and it was right at the time of WrestleMania almost being over. So everyone was going to get called up. So Nakamura was just getting the NXT while it was good, and that was the worst part about it. So if he had more people to work with, it would have been more fun. But we've all kind of sit here. Nakamura is amazing. We're not taking anything away from the guy, but you can't honestly say that NXT has been completely mind-blowing the entire time he was there.
No,
that's not saying anything about him.
I'm just saying last year he was the biggest part of the show last
was-
year,
well,
and the guy deserves a fucking send-off. That's all I'm saying.
But he's a victim of his environment, though. That's what you have.
Yeah.
What he's saying is just that the guy was the only good thing about the show.
He wasn't even the only good thing. I mean, he still had the revival and a whole bunch of other shit. Like, it's not like it was just a Nakamura show last year.
But he held it down when it was...
he definitely kept the lights on. Like, he was definitely the best thing, but it's not like NXT was complete shit like last year. You know, like
it just wasn't what it used to be.
But it was way more of a sensation before he got there.
That's definitely a bias on my part, where and I guess kind of everything. It's however you get into anything is how you'll always want it to be.
Yeah.
And even if it changes objectively for the better, you won't see it that way because you'll be stuck.
It's going to go through lag periods because of obviously guys getting called up. And this draft really fucked them over. The initial
and if the
draft
is happening, if they're going to keep doing this, I don't see how NXT ever gets good again.
It can't. It's just going to be a breeding ground for guys going to get eventually called up.
Which I mean is, I guess technically what it should be, and I guess it shouldn't be that mad about it. But
once again, we gotta come back to the conversation we've always had about whether they need to decide that they want this to be developmental or its own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't even know.
If it's going to be a developmental territory for them, like their own little thing, then that is what it is. If it's not, then don't.
The only way this is ever going to be developmental again, pure developmental, is when all the guys get called up.
Yeah.
When Bobby Roode gets called up, when Drew McIntyre gets called up, when all the guys who is
But
just
here's the
a
thing about that, is
stone.
there's always guys to sign, so you're always going to be running guys in and out of there.
You got to
Ricochet's going to be there at some point. I gotta believe
you got to replace the
It's-
top card. You can't just have like your champ. You can't have Bobby Roode go up without someone to replace him.
The only way that'll work is if we stop watching NXT and call it complete shit. We haven't done that so far. It's had its moments, but it's still a whole lot better than Raw.
Oh yeah,
So-
for as not good as NXT has been, it's still miles beyond Raw and SmackDown.
yeah.
Well, everybody, that was NXT.
Yeah, it's long-winded, unexpected.
Well, a lot of things to go into. We had this little shakeup, and we will see how everyone gets booked. Obviously, at the moment, SmackDown is looking pretty fucking great on paper. We will see what they do. We will see how they ruin this. They will ruin
a lot of
it.
stuff about WWE looks good on paper, but
They will ruin this,
shitty
much like they
booking
do
could-
everything else.
Braun Roman feud looked great.
Yeah.
Up until
Well,
recently.
Braun's gonna get fired soon for his dastardly acts against Roman Reigns.
That
But
bastard.
all right, everybody, we are out of time, and I guess I'll see everybody next week.
Next
The
week?
plug. Oh. Yes, I must plug the channel too. falconarrow.podbean.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook. Follow, right, on Facebook or whatever. Like us on Facebook.
like follow whatever you
Who
do
gives
on
a
Facebook.
fuck? Just follow. Yeah, just do whatever you do on Facebook. Facebook.com/FalconArrowcast to catch up with all of our stuff. And yeah, everybody, we will see you next week or whenever me and Anthony want to do PWG, because he never wants to watch PWG ever. And all right, everybody, take care.